Welcome along, ladies and gents. 11 races down, one final fight to go. The 12th season of the IRL PS F2 League all boils down to this, the Singapore Grand Prix. It's time to go racing under the lights around the tight, narrow, windy streets of the Marina Bay circuit that all the teams face tonight. 61 laps here is the full race distance, and 3 more and you'll have one for every island in the nation. Debuting in 2008, Singapore was a new addition to the Formula 1 calendar by being the first night race, although that particular race lies in people's memories for what's now known simply as Crashgate. Well, let's hope we can avoid contact tonight as we get underway for 31 laps around one of the most challenging tracks on the calendar. The 3.1 mile long circuit consists of 23 corners encased with concrete on both sides throughout, providing little leeway for mistakes and errors, 3 DRS zones per lap, and it's C3, C4 and C5 as the compounds. AlphaTauri take one of the championships, but it's the Drivers' Championship that's still up for grabs, and there couldn't be a better track for a title fight, Cameron. Could we see AlphaTauri take the Drivers as well?
Yeah, good evening everyone. This is going to be one hell of a fight. AlphaTauri have already claimed one championship, and the other is simply in their crosshairs. Adam, after 11 rounds and going into this final round, is surely the title favourite. Currently sits on top of the standings. However, where will he be after 31 laps? Shining in glory or down in dismay? With Jos and Danza also in the fight for the biggest trophy of them all. So we can expect a stellar performance from all the title contention drivers around the stunning street circuit this evening. Fozzy, it's been a whistle-stop tour around the world, and this is a great track to go to, isn't it? It's just a beautiful track.
Indeed, and a great track that's made a little bit more interesting when, yes, we have some rain. It wouldn't be a PCF2
of course
qualifying or race session without a bit of rain, would it? So yeah, 15 drivers going to be taking around the Marina Bay circuit tonight. It's a tough one on its own, but when you've got rain, it's a little bit more tougher. There's not much room, not much leeway, like I said at the opening, for any mistakes. A little bit off track and you're going to end yourself in the barriers and in concrete. So hopefully we don't see any of that in the race, and we can have that title fight that goes all the way to the end of the race. But we're having some cars come out now. We have Mercedes coming out on the intermediate tyres, and I think that is the right tyre choice. It doesn't look wet enough to be full wets at the moment, so intermediates I think is what we're going to be seeing all around. The lap time is going to be, I'd say, around the 1 minute 50s, maybe even towards 2 minutes in the wets around here. So it could be an interesting one to see, but as I've said, for the past 6 races, there's 18 minutes to go. So don't take the first lap times you see as being representative of the whole session, and there's always a chance that the rain might clear, so all is to play for. Let's see how this qualifying session gets underway. Who have you got your eyes on, Cameron? I know we've seen some great performances in the wet over the past few races, but, well, it could be anyone's game, especially when the championship is this close.
Yeah, anyone's game, especially in the wet. We've seen that, I think, at least once in every race weekend or race day we've had in IRL Season 12, we've had at least one wet session, and this is just adding to it. We're used to the rain by now, and hopefully so are the drivers. So, yeah, I kind of expect the usual suspects, I think, will be on top. The likes of Adam, Jos, Heinze, and Danza. But we've also seen some standout performances from the likes of Gaudio and Nico. So, and Peter Parker, so it really is just anyone's game. I don't want to put my fingers in all the pies just yet, but we're just seeing Side Tycoon getting a feel for the grip, and I believe the grip level is low, judging on the slight wheel spin there, Fozzy.
Yes, it's definitely a little bit low, especially at night time as well, with temperatures a lot lower than what we see in the daytime races. You have a load of flag in Sector 2, and it looks like somebody's already in the wall. It's Gaudio already seeing the grip get a little bit too low for his car. That was going just up to Janssen Bridge, around turn 10 and 11. Well, halfway around the lap as well, that was. So, luckily he's on that lap, and that wouldn't have impacted any time that he was setting, but hopefully he's managed to get away with damage as well. We'll soon see if he ends up diving into the pits at the end of this outlap. It looks okay from the external trackside cameras. I can't see any end plate or wing damage, so he should be good to go for a flying lap. But the first person about to start a flying lap is going to be O'Dave, who just makes his way around turn 21 now. That's right, there's 23 corners in total on this track, so let's ride on board with O'Dave and see how he does on this first lap. Got to be cautious going around there in 5th gear. Clipping into the curbs, you'll be going a little bit too wide and hitting that nice Singapore Airlines barrier, but it's heavy on the brakes through this tight and twisty complex of turns 1, 2, 3. As we go all the way around 3, you don't want to go too wide, you'll be in the barriers there, but there is a nice little bit of runoff for you to lead your car around. Then it's onto the accelerator, down towards turn 5, onto Raffles Boulevard, the first DRS straight, but we're not going to be seeing much DRS, not in these conditions, maybe in the race. Heavy power then down towards turn 6. The little kink, not really much of a corner in driver's eye, and then it's down towards turn 7. A very tight left-hander. It's being a street circuit, especially in the city, you get a lot of 90-degree corners. You'll see another one here at turn 8 as he goes a little bit deep, doesn't quite hit the apex, and just manages to keep it going in a straight line. And before you've got your car straightened up, you're already at turn 9. Another straight bit of road now down St Andrew's Road, this is, towards turn 10, which is where Gaudio had his moment on his outlap not too long ago. Keep it wide, and then hit the apexes, come here all the way through turn 11, and then it's a left-hander of 12 onto Janssen Bridge. That is quite a deadly curve if you get wheel spin on that. Very close to the concrete barrier there as we go around the tightest corner, turn 13 on the track, and then second DRS straight in the dry, not in the wet. It's all the way up, down Esplanade Drive towards turn 14, as we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. I believe that was just drivers getting out of the way of each other. Careful on the curbs once again there. Again, all the curbs around here are quite dangerous curbs, especially in the wet and on the lower track temperatures. Tight chicane here of 16 and 17. We saw Lance Stroll have a puncture here just a few races ago in the real world. Then we go into a little grandstand, which is a great viewing platform if you manage to go here in the real world. Through 19, and then you're into DHL corners. A bit of traffic ahead, but it isn't going to impact him too much. Through 20, through 21. Minor barrier on the exit. Pick up the drive, and we're going to be going towards 22. It's a tight pit exit here, but we're not going to be going into pits. We're finding this final lap through 23 as well. What's he going to be? The first time on the board is a 1:55.9 from O'Day. We said we'd be looking towards the 2 minutes, and that appears, Cameron, to be what we've got. 1:55 so far. Who else is on a flying lap? Well, it looks like there's AlphaTauri maybe just... No, okay, it looks like Adam has gone into the pits, Cameron.
Yeah, 1:55.9 seems quite respectable actually for the conditions presented to us and to the drivers. O'Dave just been seated there by Gaudio, saying 1:55.1. Had a bit of an instant, his first exploration of the lap, and seems to have put in a better time there. So yeah, 1:55s, possibly 1:54s if they can just nail a lap every corner, every straight. You know, get it lovely, simply lovely, as Max Verstappen would say, and then we'd be in there. As he said, 1:54s already. Peter Parker in the 1:54s, 1:53s. They're all the times are coming down. So I tell you what, we'll let the cars do the talking at this rate with the lap times, and yeah, just Danza there, championship contender, getting a little bit squiggly out of turn 2 and turn 3, but manages to keep it going. So yeah, Adam though, our championship leader, championship hopeful here, down in 10th at the moment, still in the pits. So he'll be looking to get up there indeed. Same with Jos Heinze, P9. So on the lower end of the points for the grid. Dancer though, setting a provisional pole. You've got to be careful of the track limits there, Jos. I've been caught out many a time by those. I think it's just part of the track, and no, it's the limits itself. And yeah, you see the cars really kind of struggling around these sort of street circuits. You know, tight 90-degree corners, slow speed corners in the wet. Basically no downforce. It kind of is more of a mechanical grip rather than aero, really. As the 19 now, the Haas enters this very tight, windy complex here. Got to be careful, use the curves, but watch out for those bumpy curves. They'll unsettle the car. Especially, this is one of my favourite corners on the entire calendar. This, chuck it in, hope it sticks. But in the wet, you've got a bit more work to do than just praying. Jos Heinze now setting provisional pole, 1:53.1. Fozzy, who have you got your eye on? Anything interesting?
Yeah, it's looking good from Jos Heinze, isn't it? Especially one of the as one of the people in contention for the championship. So we'll look to see if he can keep that top position, or if he's going to be ousted by anybody else, such as Adam, who's on his outlap now. So we'll keep an eye on him over the course of the next few minutes to see how his lap time does. He's going to be aiming for, well, top position if he can, but definitely the top 3 up there with Jos Stanza and his teammate Nicolates, if he's going to be in any shout of keeping this title lead and keeping the title for the first F2 league. Let's have a look then. Who else is on an outlap? Jay is on an outlap. Jay is on an outlap, going very slowly just to let the traffic by at turn 9 there. That's not going to help his tyre temperatures. He's certainly getting a minute wheel spin, is Jay, to try and get them tyres back up to temperatures. But yeah, looking good from Jos. He's only a 10th clear from Danza, who's spun. Danza has spun on the pit straight. He's got front wing damage to front right wing. Well, it's no longer there, so a bit of damage for Danza. Was he on a flying lap? Was he going to start a flying lap then, Cameron? I didn't quite catch it. Either way, he's going to need to come into the pits at the end of this one. Yeah,
exactly. And now you've got the painful slog around this track. I mean, you've got 10 minutes to go. Time shouldn't be a worry, but you already lost a bit of your wing. You don't want to lose the rest of it as well in another accident. But it reminds me of Schumacher in the recent race. Dropped it, lost his wing, had to stay out for a few laps before he could enter the pits and get it replaced. But luckily, this is only qualifying, so he should have enough time. 39 Mercedes there. It does look nice in that livery. You know, it does look very nice on these lights of Singapore. But yeah, I'm sure he'll regain himself, regain a bit of composure. I mean, there is a championship on the line here, so they are going to be a little bit on the nerves today. But it's whoever cannot crumble under that pressure and actually captivate themselves off of it. Such as Nico, who's currently 153.9. Not necessarily in for the championship fight, but he was up there once upon a time with Adam, his teammate. The two AlphaTauris were dominating. They dominate the constructors, not necessarily the drivers though, as there's been a bit of an upside-down roller coaster shift in performance across the league, and that's what we like to see. We like to not see just one driver simply dominating, but a mixture of them, you know, really trying gunning out for the win each race weekend, and not just being able to go, oh, Adam's going to win. You know, it's brilliant. It's what we love to see here at IRL, as Adam gets ever so close to the wall there.
Yeah, just running on board of Adam. He had a purple Sector 1, so it's on for a good lap, and he looks rather tidy through Sector 2 as well. There is a yellow flag in just a few corners' time, but I imagine that will clear by the time Adam gets there, as he again nearly hits that concrete wall of the Anderson Bridge. We may see some drivers doing that in the race, based on how close they're getting here. Jos Heinze did improve his fastest time by a smidge to get 1:53.143, remains in the top position, but for how much longer? Because Adam's just got a purple Sector 2 as well. We'll continue to ride on board with Adam and see how he does. This is his first flying lap, and it's looking like a provisional pole. If he can keep it in one piece towards the end of this lap, he's got a few more corners to go. Through turn 18 and into 19, under the grandstand, into what we're going to be referring to as DHL corner. Not sponsored. Let's see if he can keep it within track limits and not hit the barrier. It's looking good. He's going wide. Oh, he's very close to the barrier. Luckily, the barrier kinks out a little bit to allow for that. Through 22, through the kink of 23. Where's this going to put the AlphaTauri championship leader? He's over a second clear of Jos Heinze in P2. That is exactly what he needs. That's going to set him up well for the race.
Yeah, sets it well for the championship battle here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an absolute cracker of a race. This is anything to go by. Jos Heinze and Dan's, they're going to be a little bit worried, surely, unless they weren't showing their full pace. But yeah, that's some lap time there. Jos Heinze with a 1:52.5, so 5 tenths off. But Danza, who is currently in the pits, won't be too happy with that one. And yeah, but that is a great drive there from the AlphaTauri, really showing how it's done. And those inters actually working quite well in the conditions, and we wonder if we do get a wet race or a dry race. Either way, I think it's going to be close, surely, Fozzy, here.
It is a bit of an outlier at the moment. MJ Coupe with a 2 minutes 2. I think he's on another flying lap now, so we'll see where that puts him. Will he be able to get any closer to his teammate Jos Heinze? Well, he's just set a purple Sector 2, so there's every possibility that that might happen. There's a bit of traffic in front of him, which gets that underway very nicely of the AlphaTauri. Causes a yellow flag, but that's not going to hinder this lap too much, so be careful of the curbs through 16 and 17, and we'll go down again towards the grandstand tunnel 18 and 19. Where is this lap going to put MJ Coupe? Is he going to be getting up into the top positions? Is he going to be on the front row? Well, based on the Sector 2 performance, yes, he will be. I didn't catch his Sector 1, but if there was anything to go by Sector 2 was anything to go by, it could be quite good. He's got 2 more corners to go, 22 and the kink of 23. Where is the house of MJ Coupe going to go? He's currently 14th, goes up to P5, somewhere he'll be quite happy with and something that he can work with throughout the race. Cameron.
Yeah, very good position actually for the Haas driver there, MJ Coupe, showing that he has got the pace. We've seen throughout the season that he's able to perform really well, especially under pressure. But yeah, P5 is pretty decent actually. You've got a bit of an AlphaTauri Haas co-op sort of thing going on here. We've got Adam and Nico, P1 and 4, and then Jos and MJ in P2 and 5. So, and the Dancer, the outline, the Mercedes, with his teammate Dave down in 11th, provisionally out of the points on the starting grid. So yeah, it's a mix-up. Obviously AlphaTauri have already got the constructors. There's still a few places to be fought for down the lower end, as Mercedes going slow there, Haas going slow, just getting traffic through, trying not to impede other people's laps. But with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go, Adam's looking pretty comfortable here, but I'm just wondering if Danza or the likes of Jos have just been hiding that little bit of extra pace and are ready to unveil that to the world and really set a good lap. But we've seen Adam has been really stellar at qualifying. Dino not so much, going into the bridge corner at the hairpin. Unfortunately, turn 13, clips the ball and has to run wide, and that is going to be that flyer lap over. Whether they get back to the pits in time, well, yeah, surely, but that wing damage is going to hamper his spirits and the mechanics over at McLaren, We've got a bit of work cut out for them now. Yeah, you see them really trying to maximise the track limits, don't we, Fozzy? Where, especially on a street circuit, of all circuits to do it, you are already playing a game of risk and reward. That extra tenth, yeah, okay, it's an extra 10th, but it might be a pit stop, which you don't necessarily want. So, yeah, it's street circuits, you really sort of see the drivers really testing their limits.
Yes, keep an eye on Danza. He's going for another flying lap. He's on the second row of the grid, and he's going to be wanting to get out there onto the first row. Will he be able to get it into first position? Well, that's his aim, and it's looking good so far as we head down Raffles Boulevard towards turn 7. Let's see how he does. It's not a purple sector 1, and it is a big lockup, so it might not be the lap that Danza is looking for. He might be able to snidge P3, he might be, P2. He might be able to get P1 if he can make improvements throughout the rest of the lap. I think there's a Williams that might have spun somewhere in sector 3 as well, but it might just be actually getting out the way. Anyway, I'll continue with Danza to let you know how he's doing. He's coming up to the Anderson Bridge, somewhere that we've seen drivers get very close to the wall and very cautious over the curbs. How does he do? Well, makes the curbs okay, and he gets very close to the wall once more through turn 13. Unlucky for some, like it was for Dino just a few laps ago. Easy on the power, Danza, as we head down towards the timing marker for the end of sector 2. Is this going to be a purple sector for Danza? Yes, it is. This could be the lap which puts the Mercedes on the front row and on pole position. Let's see if he can stick with it throughout sector 3. Can he make it all the way to the end? Can he stick with this time at his goal? Well, I can't see his steering wheel. This is as to if it's looking positive at the moment. But it's looking good for what we've seen in Sector 2, and it's looking good from what we've seen in Sector 3 as well. Is he going to be able to keep this as he goes through the grandstand, through turn 19? He's got a few more corners to go, just 4 more corners, a few 90-degree turns of 20 and 21, and then the kink of 22 and 23. Is this going to get the Black Mercedes onto the front row here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit? Let's see where Danza goes after this lap. Puts him onto the front row, but it doesn't put him in front of championship leader Adam Cameron.
Yeah, 3 tenths between them. A little bit more work to do. We just see that time. Just still, Adam's a little bit ahead. Just even if it's by a mere few tenths, that's what matters. But P2 for the starting grid here at Singapore isn't necessarily all over and done with. You can still work from there. I mean, especially in league racing, you can work from any position. But being on the front row will certainly help you with that. Jos Heinze, though, currently second in the championship, 96 points, 3 points away from Adam, will really be needing to start on the front row to take the proper fight to him. Danza actually on a third with 95 points, so 4 points away from the leader as Bob has been disqualified, possibly for going too slowly. We've seen that before. Yes, so Danza, bit of work to do, but that's a good way to start by qualifying on the front row. 2 minutes, 9, 8, 7 seconds remaining. I think we're going to see the final push here for getting into the pits, getting your lap times in, and hopefully finishing where you want to, which is front row, ideally, I'd imagine, Fozzy.
Yeah, ideally, that would be the best thing. Jos Heinze knocked off the front row just a few moments ago by Danza. He's going to be looking for redemption. He's on another flying lap now. Is the Haas driver from the Netherlands. Let's see what he can do, and will he be able to redeem that position on the front row? Will he be able to take pole position in Singapore? Well, let's see how he does. I didn't catch if it was a purple sector 1, but from watching the onboards, it's looking pretty good. Let's see how he manages to do. There are quite a few cars, a few corners in front of him, so will he encounter any traffic? Well, hopefully not. They're all respectful drivers here anyway, so he would move out of the way. But we saw last time in Spain that a little bit of traffic can hinder you significantly when you're on a flying lap, so let's hope he doesn't run into too much. Top 3 at the moment, Adam, Danza and Jos. Let's see where Jos is able to do. He's coming up to the timing marker for Sector 2. Is it going to be purple? Yes, it is. So this could be another lap for Jos that sees him retake his position on the front row of the grid. But do not count out Adam, who's on a flying lap as well. Currently your provisional pole sitter. Will he be able to keep that, or will he be able to take it back should Jos or any of the other drivers nick it from him? Well, there's a lot of traffic in front of Jos now. I'm seeing yellow flags as we go through Sector 3, so cars backing up to try and get enough room as TS Bunty retires. I believe that was an instant down at turn 10. Maybe he hit the wall. We'll see if we can find out what that was. But Jos Heinze now on his flying lap. It's looking good. It was a purple Sector 2. Through 22 we go. Through 23 onto the main straight. It was a yellow flag. Ignore that. Where does that put Jos? Not any further in front than where he currently is. Jos Heinze in the Haas remains off the second row of the grid in P3.
Yeah, not the improvement you would have wanted there, but it is pretty close between Danza and Jos here. Just about a tenth separate the two, but Adam though 1:51.2. That time seems pretty unbeatable as the final seconds of qualifying countdown till the checker flag comes out. Well, who's going to start their lap in time? Farnham. unfortunately just caught out by about half a second really there. Nothing between them. I don't think anyone's going to start in time, so it's up to the likes of O'Dave, who runs wide there. That isn't going to help him on the tight left-hander of 7. But there we go. But it's Adam looking invincible and looking like he will be starting from the front row of the grid. Let's see if he can improve any further. And the likes of Danza, who now enters the final turn, 16, 17, 18, and then the 19, 20, 21 complex. The fun part here. And let's see if he can do what he needs to do and try and qualify in the front row. We come around the final left-hander. Put the power down, make sure it sticks. 5th, 6th gear over the line, not enough to improve. It's a 151.669, but it is nowhere near Adam's 151.2, who looks like he will be starting on pole. He has invalidated his current lap, so it's up to Jos Heinze to see if he can pull off the unfathomable seemingly here around Singapore, but that isn't going to happen. His lap time has been disqualified, which means barring any outstanding performances from anyone else on the grid, Adam will start the final round of IRL Season 12 PC Formula 2 here in Singapore on the front row of the grid. What a start to the race for the championship leader, Fozzy.
Yeah, and what a lap that was as well. 4 tenths clear of Danza, so he's clearly dominated that qualifying session, miles ahead of the competition. Let's hope that he can take that momentum forward into the race for the next 31 laps. It's going to be a tight one, especially if we get rain. We've had our rain for this evening. We've had it in the qualifying, so let's hope that we can maybe, just maybe, get a dry race. But your top 10, it's Adam from Danza, Jos Nicolates Gaudio, Dino Dejan Lazic, Pizza Parker, J and MJQ. This is going to be a rather exciting race. I can't wait to see how it goes. Fantastic drive, stellar drive by Adam there. Can't wait to see how he takes that into the race, Cameron.
Yeah, it's just what the front 3 really needed in that order. At least it's them 3 and no one else trying to split the pack between those 2 at the moment. If Adam finishes where he starts, he will be your champion. So it's up to Danza and Jos Heinze to try and dethrone him. It's going to be difficult, but we'll see. 31 laps is a long time and mistakes can happen. We've seen in qualifying that this track bites, especially when you try and eat in to those track limits. It will bite back. So stay with us. This is going to be one hell of a fight for the crown here in Season 12 of Invictus Racing League. Singapore, though, please give us a dry race because it's a bit damp now. I'm not enjoying this constant fear of just being in the rain, Fozzy. It's getting a bit wet. It's getting a bit, you know, a bit raincoaty weathery for me.
It is, yeah, but it's definitely something that we're used to, isn't it, at the moment? We've had rain in every session since we joined the team, so it doesn't surprise us too much more now. We're able to deal with that. Let's see if we get rain in the race. No, it's looking dry, which is amazing. Whether it stays that way, well, we will have to wait and see. There's 31 laps, it's a long time, 50 minutes, so we'll have to, fingers crossed, basically is what I'm saying, and see that it remains dry. But it is Adam on the front row, and we've seen how good he is in the wet. He's even better in the dry. So will he be able to take a commanding lead on this race? Well, I'm excited to find out. In just under an hour's time, we will have a champion for Season 12. After all these races, it all comes down to this. Just a few points in it for the top 3. If you're watching on the live stream, then do let us know in the broadcast chat who you're putting your money on. Who do you think is going to be taking the championship at this race? I couldn't tell you, Cameron, if I was to put money. It is really that close. It's anyone's game. I can't wait to get underway with this.
Yeah, of all the tracks we visited over Season 12, especially in the second half where we've been able to bring you the broadcast, the likes of United States of America, Silverstone, France, Spain, this one is the track that really matters now. Singapore is a lovely track. It's fearful, and it's always a brilliant race in real life. Sebastian Vettel's last win, I believe, with Ferrari was there, and yeah, I mean, that was a majestic win, and I'm sure we're probably going to see the same tonight from one of the drivers, but who will come through? Will it be the top 3, or will it be someone from lower down the pack finding their way through, charging through, biting into the lap time, and coming out on top? Obviously, we've got a formation lap, so we've got a bit of time. Get your popcorn, get your drinks, and I think get your pillow to hide behind here, especially at the turn 1 around that area. There's a lot of room for mistake, and the drivers are going to be fully charged and ready to take on each other in what's going to be a sparring match this evening, Fozzy. But I tell you what, if there's someone that has been a standout across the season, who would you say, Fozzy? Because it's pretty hard to tell. I'm giving you a tough question here.
To be honest, I'm going to have to say Jos Heinze. He's had, what, 5 podiums in a row now. So the Dutch driver has really been on great form in this latter half of the season. Hopefully he can, well, maybe make that 6 in a row by the end of today's race. So, yeah, I think he's had a stellar drive over the past few races. Really, really impressed. Always done fantastic qualifying, always done fantastic in the race as well. But we can't rule out the other top 2 in the championship. Danza and Adam, brilliant, all of them brilliant work by everything. For Danza, he's only had 2 races he started where he hasn't been on the podium all season, so it's looking good for all of them. At the moment, we're just waiting though for the drivers to finalise their setups to make sure that they are ready to take on this final dash from lights out to checkered flag. But yeah, as we've said, it is anybody's game, Cameron.
Anybody's game, and we're going to find out whose game it's going to be. And wow, I think time's going to fly by. Like, the season's just flown by, really, especially the latter half. I mean, it has been so close. We've had changes for the lead, and now we've got the notification that the drivers will be taking to the grid, taking to the formation lap in a matter of around 20 seconds time for their little, well, hopefully be the slowest lap they do around Singapore, bar any safety car intervention. So, yeah, it's time to warm up the tyres, get ready, get the brakes sorted, and get yourself in a position that you're ready to potentially finish the race being a champion. So it's all to play for, though, and don't count on the top 3 being friendly to each other. That's for sure. I'm sure they're gonna get a bit feisty, but there we go. There's the lights, and the cars take to their formation lap. Good getaway from the cars there. Doesn't really matter too much of the formation lap, but it's good to know that their practice starts have played off, already warming up their tyres. And talking of tyres, Fozzy, let's see what they are all using, shall we?
Ooh. All the top 3 are on different compounds. Adam on the softs, Danza on the hards, and Jos Heinze in the mediums. So we have a big load of strategy laid out ahead of us for this race. This is going to be an interesting one. As they say, do what your competitors don't do. And sadly what they've done, they've all gone for something different. Adam's going to have a great getaway then, I imagine. With them soft compounds, he's going to fly away over the first few laps. But will Danza be able to go a lot longer? And will he be able to make the overcut work? Well, it's going to be quite interesting. On screen now is your predicted pit stop strategy. Most people opt and start for the softs or the mediums, and then pitting throughout the race as per required. But yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. I'm looking forward to this. Looks like medium does appear to be the most popular. There's only actually 3 drivers starting on the softs. Those 3 drivers are Adam, O'Dave, and Bob. So let's see how this plays out throughout the race.
Yeah, it could be a 2-stop here for Adam then. Softs aren't going to last, and they'll last a matter of maybe a couple, 4 laps potentially. So Singapore's quite tough. So I think Adam's got a lot of work to do. He's making it a little bit difficult for himself here. Danza, though, obviously not going to have the greatest getaway, but that durable, hard, white wall tyre will help him in the long run. But I think the medium here, if I were in the seat, I'd probably go medium. It's a nice just race tyre generally. But we will see who comes out on top. We can expect a good getaway, though, from Adam here, Fozzy. And, yeah, mixture of strategies. It's like a pick-and-mix sweet shop, isn't it?
It is just like a pick-and-mix sweet shop. It's got all the colours as well. Reds and yellows. Oh, Danza's hit the wall. Danza's hit the wall doing his tyre warming. Has he got damage to that car? Doesn't look it, but he was just getting a little bit too excited warming up his tyres. And as he went down Esplanade Drive towards turn 14, hit the barrier on the right-hand side. I said it was a tight track. I said you got to be careful. I didn't expect we to be seeing incidents on the formation lap, though, Cameron. That's going to hinder him just a little bit. But yes, we're just a few corners away now from getting this race underway. It's Adam who's going to be going for the championship. He's going to be chased by Danza and Jos Heinze, who are all on different tyre strategies. They get their final tyre burnouts done to get the temperatures sorted. Remember, it's a nighttime race. Track temperatures are a lot lower than what you see in the day. But we're going to be seeing everybody line up on the grid now as we get underway for the final time this season. Invictus Racing League and the PCF2 League, to be precise. It is the Singapore Grand Prix around the Marina Bay circuit. As always, I'll hand over to Cameron for your first lap commentary. Here we go then, everybody. It's the final time in Invictus Racing League PCF2. Cameron.
Yes, indeed. The cars get set up on the grid for what will be the last time in a couple of weeks, certainly, between our rumoured events continuing over the off-season. But there you go. There it is, your pole sitter, Adam, waiting for the lights. The nerves start to build up. You get sort of that anticipation, and you're just ready to put your foot down. But here we go then. One final time in Season 12, the lights come on, the cars begin to roar, and we are underway. It's go, go, go in Singapore, and it's a decent start from Adam, the championship leader, gets a good getaway. The soft tyre playing in well. It's Danza in second. Jos Heinze getting around the outside though, as Danza goes off track. As a yellow flag already in sector 1, Danza just keeps it ahead. It's close between the Mercedes and the Haas driver. The 19 car just lining up a move already. The medium tyres looking to have that initial better grip. Here comes the slipstream. No DRS yet, no need to worry, but Adam already 1.5 seconds. Here's a move though. Here we go. The Haas driver, number 19, Jos Heinze on the inside. Danza holding it around the outside. Be careful of track limits there, Danza. They make contact. Jos Heinze is almost in the wall. He just keep it out. Danza now alongside, around the outside. Does he get the move done? He's a full car length ahead, and he gets the job done. Is Jos Heinze going to fight back? No, doesn't look like it just yet. He's going to have to settle. That was ever so close, but 3 seconds is the gap between the championship leader and the others in contention. The soft tyre playing well, the hard tyre not so much in the same way, but Jos Heinze lucky not to be squeezed into a wall and still have 4 tyres remaining on his car there, Fozzy.
Yeah, all that fighting. Look how well it's allowed Adam to get away. Over 3.5 seconds now. That yellow flag was short for start. Was Dino. He had a bit of an instant in the McLaren going into turn 1. He's dropped down 8 positions from when he started. Not a good start for the AlphaTauri teammate of Adam. Nicolate's down 7 positions. He's down in 11th at the moment, out of the points. The Constructors' Championship has been wrapped up. AlphaTauri have got it, but Nicolate would definitely be wanting to race for Pride. Still trying to get as high as he can do in the championship. But yeah, look at all that fighting. Adam now Danza up there, and Jos Heinze. Wow, this has been a good start to the race so far. Moves going on all over the place as well. You see MJ Coupe trying to make a dive down the inside on Dejan Lajic and the Ferrari. Has to go a little bit wide around turn 2. Both of them on the medium compounds as well. And looks like Gaudio and Pizza Parker having a bit of a fight as well. Dejan Lajic does appear to be quite far behind, as I think the timing table's having a bit of a moment. MJ Coupe though, well, he's right up behind Dejan Lajic now. Is he going to be able to make a move down Raffles Boulevard into turn 7? Let's have a look. Is he going to be able to make that move? No, he's not. But it's all his battles going up further ahead as well. Let me see if we can see what's going on there. Geek, have you got any eyes on Jos and Danza? Are they battling?
Yeah, Jos and Danza.
Still in the wars?
Yeah, they're still in the war. The battle isn't over just yet. They're still sparring away, getting the shields, getting the swords ready to clash in Singapore. Just following through now, really just trying not to go offline too much and end up in the wall. We have already had a spun from O'Dave around the final turn 23 onto the straight earlier on. Lucky not to cause a safety car there. But here we go then. Jos Heinze, the Dutch driver, chasing down the Czech driver Danza in the Mercedes. Got to be ever so careful. There are heaps of understeer. Suddenly just a mount on your vehicle, and it's very hard to keep it out of the wall. There's a lock up from the Mercedes driver. Jos very late on the brakes, almost ramming into Danza as we go into this little complex under the tunnel. Around we go again, and Danza still just ahead of Jos Heinze, but that medium tyre is going to waste if we can't get around, and there's a yellow flag. I believe that's O'Dave again, as Adam sets the fastest lap of the race so far. That soft tyre proving ever so good, but as you might have seen on the predicted strategy, Adam might have to do a 2-stop here from soft, medium, medium, unless he takes a plunge and goes for the hard tyre. Now we're going to have to see what he's going to do. It's up to him, but at the moment he's got an almighty gap of around 6.5-7 seconds, leading ahead of the 2 behind him who are just wasting time by battling it out. Have they decided to make this sort of a momentary truce to try and avoid wasting and hemorrhaging any more lap time and try and catch up to Adam? Wow, you'd think so, but maybe not. Here might be a move from Jos Heinze. Look to the inside, not going for it just yet, staying out of the walls in turn 7 into turn 8. O'Dave, 5-second penalty. It hasn't gone well for O'Dave on the race start. Hopefully he'll be able to clamber it back, but this is the battle here through turn 9, Padang, and then into the tight corner of turn 10. You want to cut as closely as possible to that wall on the left. Be careful not to bounce off and ricochet into the other barrier, and he's just following Danza through. Any move that Danza makes, Jos Heinze follows. There's no way of separating the 2 at the moment around the hairpin. Obviously it is now lap 3. There will be DRS, I believe. Will he get it? Yes, he will. Of course he will. He's within a couple tenths of the Mercedes driver, but it is not enough to catch up and overtake the Mercedes driver.
Pizza Parker and Gaudio going very close. Pizza Parker, though, parks it in the wall this time. Not the best move that he would have been wanting to make there. Has he got any damage? Was someone who did have damage was O'Dave. You remember, it's about a lap ago, we saw the yellow flag. He binned it at the exact same corner there. At turn 14, lost the front left side of his wing, had to go into the pits. Got the 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So, Dave, not been very good for you at the start of this race. But yeah, I've just been following that race, that mini race, so to say, between Adam Janza and Jos Heinze. Is there something exciting going on your camera?
Yes, Jos Heinze making the move into turn 1.
No,
Danza still holding on though. Will he be able to get the job done? Jos Heinze powers through, gets the job done, gets ahead of Danza. They almost clashed coming into turn 1, and Jos was very lucky not to lose it exiting turn 23. That would have been a calamity for the Dutch driver, but now the determined Dutch is going to try and catch up. 7.6 seconds is the time he's going to make up, but he's battling with the Mercedes driver. They rub tyres, they almost make contact. Has to let Danza through. Our fear of being into the wall there. The Pirelli branding will be on the cars instead of on the barriers, but the 39 Mercedes ahead of Jos Heinze. This is the battle to watch, but it's not the battle they need. They need to be battling with Adam. At the moment, if Adam stays in the position he's at, he will be your champion, and Danza and Jos Heinze will only have the little pride they have of finishing P2, but not the glory of being our champion. And Danza almost loses it. A twitch there of oversteer, luckily recovered. Jos Heinze again following him in the same footsteps, almost making a twitch. Here we go then. DRS activated. The rear wing opens. It's just not enough to catch up. It gets you closer, but this is where the dirty air starts to kick in. We've got tight corner street circuits. I'm infamous for having dirty air here. There's P2 though, it's just ahead of him. He wants to get it. You can tell, just late on the brakes, just gaining and gaining. Is he going to line up into turn 23, into turn 1? We're going to have to wait and see, Fozzy.
Yeah, you'd say he wants to get ahead. He needs to get ahead. He's on the medium tyres, and they're going to be, like you say, going to waste if he can't get past Danza. He's got a great drive, though, out of turn 21. Is he able to make a move into the gearbox of Danza? It nearly seems, but it goes a little bit wide, nearly ended up in the barrier. Look at it, Danza trying to break the toe, but it's just not enough. Jos Heinze manages to get around, but that line that Danza's taken turns into the inside. Is he able to make that move stick? No, he's not. Jos Heinze gets up into P2, and Jos Heinze makes a great drive and gap ahead as well. Look at that, over half a second, but Danza is still within DRS range. Was he within DRS range at the detection point? Yes, he was. He's deploying his engine now. It's a long run through the kink of 6 down Raffles Boulevard. Is he going to be able to take redemption back and take the fight to Jos Heinze? Goes around the outside and is slide contact, but both drivers keep it going in the right direction. It's a tight corner around turn 8, and it doesn't look like it's an overtaking opportunity for Danza though, as he swings it left through 9. Through Stamford Road and onto St Andrews Road, as this is known as. Jos Heinze on those medium tyres needs to be making a move away now. Needs to be catching up to Adam, who is over 9 seconds ahead now. Nearly 10 seconds ahead. This is tight. Try not to lose it there. We saw Danza nearly losing it there. Just a few laps to go. We got on them curbs and nearly lost our back end on the Anderson Bridge. Everybody else is fighting behind. And it looks like there's going to be a yellow flag back there as well. Don't quite catch who that is. Is that MJ Coupe? It looks like there's a Haas not moving on the Anderson Bridge. It is. It's MJ Coupe. He's had an instant on the bridge. That drops him down to 14th position. He's still ahead of O'Dave by, well, nearly a minute, because it hasn't been the best for Dave. I'll try and have a look on the exterior camera. Yes, it looks like MJ Coupe is going to need to box here. He's lost half of his front wing due to that collision. Oh, and he has a massive lockup going into 14 as well. Yeah, the medium tyres aren't going to be lasting much longer. He's going to need to go and box and see if he can make his strategy work now. Jos Heinze, though, well, Danza is still in DRS range of him, but he looks too far back to be making a move on this run down towards turn 1. Cameron?
Yeah, it's just not enough really to get you there. The hard tyres will start to suffer initially anyway, especially on the straights, and put them through, and a little bit of grip. So Jos does have the advantage here, but for how long can he keep that advantage? Danza gets ever so close to the wall there through turn 5, through the kink of turn 6. Invisible corner really in F1 machinery, but Jos Heinze still ahead. The DRS straight, quite a powerful one, hasn't been enough to catch up the gap there to Jos. And up ahead is Adam. He looks like he's up for a leisurely sort of drive this Wednesday evening. He's got no worries in the world there between them. In fact, he's probably have to start thinking about when he's going to box or his new set of boots. It'll be the mediums or the hards. I suspect the hards go one stop. He's got a big enough gap now, But yeah, it will still be Jos, Heinze and Danza battling out for the bottom steps of the podium. Behind them, 5 seconds down the road, we've got a little battle between Pizza Parker and Gaudio, heating up slowly, as well as the other Williams driver. They have Jay just trying to catch up to his teammate, the Welshman of Pizza Parker, the 22 car, taking a slightly wider line. Jay getting a little bit compromised on the inside, putting the power down. DRS activated. There's a bit of a DRS train going on here, and no moves to be made just yet. But look at the gap between Danza and Jos. Now, Danza just seems to have fallen off the cliff in lap time here. Over a second. That's our DRS detection here. And if he doesn't get a hurry on, he can see himself dropping back into the likes of Gaudio, who would love to, as a Piranhas, would love to snap him up for a P3 position here. The Alfa Romeo driver, the Italian Alfa Romeo, with the Italian team. But there we go, no DRS for the Mercedes, the 39, no way of catching up to the 19 via assistance of the drag reduction system, and is going to have to just work on his lap times here. As you can see, he's actually quite low on energy, really, about, what's that, 25% roughly, so not a lot to go around, and it's about the same with Jos. And I wonder now if Jos can just try and break away, just catch up to Adam, and really start to bring that gap down, and bring the fight to Adam. It's Adam's championship to lose at this point, but it's all of Jos, Heinze and Danza's to gain and win. Lap 7 though, and it's Adam who leads.
Yep, the medium tyres allowing Jos to pull a little bit further ahead of Danza, but as we say, Adam is on the softs, but they will be starting to fall off and lose the grip levels over the next few laps. 7 laps in Singapore is not going to be having the softs last for much longer, so will we be seeing Adam come into the pits on this lap or the next lap? Well, he looked a bit like he's having a bit of tango going across the Anderson Bridge there, so that suggests his tyre might be starting to lose that optimum grip now and falling out of range. Danza, though, still 1.3 behind Jos Heinze, so out of that DRS range. Looks like Jos's tyres will probably be able to go into the mid-teens, I'd say, and Danza might be able to go into lap 20 or beyond on those hards. So, like we say, mix of strategy. Meanwhile, further back in the field, everybody else is still fighting away, because there's still points at gain, even when you're at the back of the grid, as we follow Bob and Sly Tycoon, on to Esplanade Drive. As Adam gets a 3-second time penalty. Adam getting that penalty as he comes into the pits now, so it is a pit stop visit for Adam. But that 3-second time penalty, will that be championship deciding? Is that going to be the penalty that decides the outcome of this race? Cameron, what do you think?
I certainly hope not. We want to see a battle to the end, not just based on penalties, but more on track position. It hurts to see someone just lose just by a 3-second penalty. You'd rather see that lasting overtake, make a punch, and really land you that championship. I'm sure Adam will be wanting the same. And it's Sly Tycoon also visiting the steward's room for the 3-second penalty. But it's Adam on the medium tyres there. Now, I don't know whether those mediums will last long enough. That could be a 2-stop here. And if so, then Adam might be on the weaker back foot. He's looked so strong already, but by putting himself on a 2-stop, these drivers are going to want to make their tyres last, and they might be at a 1-stop. So it's still not over yet, still undetermined, as Bob also heads into the pits there. Very slow into the pits, that is, but still into the pits nevertheless, as Jos Heinze. P2 now, Danza, P1 on track, timetable just updated. It's always nice when the F1 game works, and Danza 1.8 now really has fallen off the back of Jos Heinze, and does now find himself really needing to regather himself and get that power down and get ready to catch up. Easier said than done, of course. We saw these two battling out ever so fiercely in the opening laps, but now we're into lap 8 of 31. Still a long time to go, no mind, but Danza really could find himself at risk here of just slipping away, watching it crumble in front of him, even a podium at this point, Fozzy. So yeah, anything else along the field? I mean, there's battles going all along, but anything else that takes your fancy?
Adam trying to fight his way back through the field as he nearly gets cut up by the racing point of Farnham there. That was close. He had to get past his teammate a minute ago, which I think there was a bit of nice team play action. Oh, this is a tight one by Adam as he makes his way past the racing point there. Looks like Farnham is exploring track limits just a little bit, going as wide as he possibly can on this narrow, windy. Oh, Nick Leighton will lose it as well. Farnham going as wide as he can on this little track here. But yeah, Adam working his way back through the field now. Will he be able to make this a 1-stop or a 2-stop? Well, like we say, we think it's going to be a 2-stop for the racing, for the AlphaTauri. Will he be going for the fastest lap? Well, he's going to try to. He's going to try and go for fastest lap, as Danza now gets a 3-second time penalty. It's Danza who gets the second penalty out of that top 3 group. And Okay, I was going to say, I thought I could see some rain then, but I think it was just all the lights shining off the cars. Don't the cars look great, Cameron, under the city lights of Singapore here. Love a night race, especially with all the vibrancy around. We have lasers in the sky, the LED skyscrapers and all sorts going off, so it does look quite interesting in Singapore. Little would you know, but if you visit this track on Google Street View, you wouldn't be able to tell where you were, Cameron.
Yeah, Adam's just trying to get away through the pack. He makes slight contact with TS Bunty, the Ferrari driver. They're not battling, really, but I think that's rain. Am I seeing rain on the screen? It's rain. TS Bunty lets Adam through. This has turned everything on its head. Those cars haven't stopped yet, don't need to stop and make an unnecessary stop. They can go straight onto wets, have the conditions be in that area for it to be, whereas Adam's made a stop onto mediums. He's got to put another pit stop in to get onto at least the inters or the full wet. Are we seeing it just fall away from him here? Adam in P7, if he can't get through the pack quick enough, he might be on P7 when we have to box for the wet weather tyres. Adam surely is going to be thinking, oh, it's all against me today. This just hasn't gone well. The start phase was marvellous, but this isn't so marvellous at all, is it, Fozzy? Wet weather brings issues and complexities. We're already starting to see it taking effect here.
Issues and complexities, but nothing that they haven't dealt with before. They should be able to make this work when it comes to the wet. Now, the question that we're wanting to think ahead with in their head is this going to be intermediates or wets? If it's wets, well, are they going to be a little bit worried? Are they going to be trying to push for that championship and just bossing and get on a little puddle? Well, hopefully not. Intermediates might be a little bit more favourable by some other drivers, but yeah, it's not gone well for Adam, has it? Boxing onto the mediums, now having to potentially make another box. If this rain gets any heavier, it looks to be fairly consistent at the moment, where we are only a third of the way into the race. Let's have a look back up at Jos Heinze and Danza. Don't forget, Danza has a 3-second time penalty, which will be added at the end of the race. Jos is about 2 seconds-ish ahead of Danza at the moment, so he's pulled away a little bit, but then medium tyres, well, he's not pulled ahead as far as I would have expected. Although, like I say, we are only 10 laps into this. Who else is battling? Well, it looks like Dejan Lazic is trying to make a move on Pizza Parker, as that's Adam going down the inside of Dejan Lazic as well. Adam up to 6th position. He's making a move up into the, well, as close as he can to the podium positions and that championship winning position as well. Will he be able to easily get past the Williams in front of him? Well, he nearly ends up finding himself in the back of the Williams as he goes very close through to turn 16 and 17. He thinks about a dive into 18, thinks better of it, and will probably save that for the main pit straight. Looks like the two Ferraris getting a little bit close to each other as well. Cameron, what have you got your eyes on elsewhere?
Ferraris being close to each other brings back many unfortunate memories of 2019, but let's hope it's not the same for them. As O'Dave is the first to experiment with the wet weather tyres, boxing onto the intermediates. I reckon they'll be watching his lap times a little bit. Adam now with the fresh tyres, although it's wet, there's a Haas causing a yellow flag. Is that MJQ potentially there?
Bob span around. He has lost his front wing, Bob has totally gone that front wing.
VSC.
So it's a full VSC. I don't quite know what happened there. I wasn't following it at the time. Maybe there was contact between Bob and MJQ, but the Haas has not got any penalty yet, so I suspect maybe Bob just might have lost it on his own, although I can't pin the blame fully on him. I didn't see what happened, and we unfortunately don't have the availability of replays to instantly look back at, but maybe we'll find out in due course. So yeah, we're seeing a few drivers come onto the intermediates now. Sly Tycoon is taking advantage of the virtual safety car to box onto the intermediates. Maybe a lot of drivers are having a word with their engineers and seeing what the rain's going to be like, and a lot of people finding out, but maybe it's just not going to be such heavy rain. It's a spin!
Adam spun! The championship leader going into this race takes the wrong strategy and now spins on the medium tyres. It's gone from bad to worse. He's still 8th and the VSC is out of the way and the green flags are back in play once again. Adam now P8 makes the job even harder for himself. Now the AlphaTauri is going to go even a bigger ladder to try and climb now. Well, I don't know how he's going to do it, but I'm sure we'll find out. He's got the pace. We've seen it in qualifying and we've seen it in the race. He's now P8, P7, and now he's got a bit of work to do. The Hungarian driver, he knows how to use wet weather to his advantage. Now, crucially, only 3 have boxed onto the inters, which is quite interesting. If they box now, maybe it's potentially not wet enough, and they'll just overcook the rubber, and that makes them a bit like turkey, a bit of a slick tyre really, but in these conditions would be torrential really. But Adam now 1.7 away from Dejan Lazic, who's in P6. There is a pit window open for the medium one-stop strategy, lap 12 to 18. Now whether they'll go on to the mediums or whether they'll stay out long and take the lap time deficit, but try and take the tyre advantage by going on to the inters later, we'll have to wait and see. But Adam really starting to feel the pressure. He knows that he's in a bit of an interesting situation at the moment. If it finishes as it is, Jos Heinze, I believe, will be your championship winner, as there is another yellow flag. That's a McLaren driver. Ferrari gets straight out of the way there, not fighting with Adam at all on that one, letting him through. Knows he's a quicker car. There's no point battling if it's going to cause further issues with both cars. Why slow down two if you just let one pass and focus on your own race? Peter Parker hasn't listened to that advice though, making that Williams as wide as humanly possible, I believe, in Adam's fortune there. Bit of DRS, not enough to get the job done though. Really finding it difficult to get around here and to turn 10, 11. Peter Parker though, the Welshman, getting all out of shape as we head into the hairpin. Adam going down the inside. Is it friendly? The Williams on the outer line gets a bit more traction. Oh, both fishtailing into each other then. That would have been oh so devastating for both drivers, but I believe Adam might just try and get the job done into the braking zone. No, he won't. The Williams are still on the inside, but now he does get it ahead of the Williams car. The AT01 ahead of the FW43 there. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, and it's a Williams driver. That's Jay, I believe. Jay has spun. That's a yellow flag set to 3. Thank God for ghosting, really, with these cars. That would have been an oh-so-nasty accident. Now his tyres are going to be hot, and Jos Heinze gets a 3-second time penalty.
Danza behind him, Cameron.
Yeah, all level. We wanted it to win on track, and it will be a battle on track by the looks of it now between the top 3 in the championship. MJQ coming to a stop, I believe, has come to a stop. Are we now seeing the crossover point? Looks like it. Gaudio's taking the advice and going into the pits. I assume he'll be going on to some wet weather tyres. It doesn't look like actually. He's on hards.
He's on hards.
That's on hards.
Yeah, he's going on to the hard tyres.
Wow, is this weather not here to stay? We're so used to the wet that we just expect them to go. And there's another spinner there. That's the McLaren driver, Sly Tycoon. I think, yeah, just getting going again now on the run into turn 6 and 7, Memorial Corner. Spin, spin, spin. And he's on the inters, who are those tyres overcooking out of the heat window and find themselves being more of a barbecue rather than a Pirelli tyre. Oh, just trying to lose it again. Once you spin once, you're bound to spin another time if you don't get those temperatures under your reign. So McLaren's struggling. Jos Heinze is out front though, 2.2 seconds with a 3-second penalty. Doesn't matter because now is 1, 2, 3. Adam 19.5 seconds away from the top 2. But they're all on dry compounds. Bear in mind, Jos Heinze and Danza, I believe, still haven't stopped. No, they haven't, because their laps are still there. So they technically are a pit stop ahead. But Adam is closing in because of the wet weather's actually helping him a little bit here to close that gap and really make up for it. But now we're seeing a lot of cars onto the wet weather tyres. Farnham trying on the softs, the rest trying on the inters. Oh dear, Adam is in the wall. Turn 14.
He's going to have to box again. He's lost a bit of wing. It's his entire front left wing. He's going to have to box again. Now the question is, does he go on to the intermediates and try and take the gamble? Look at him, he's going wider than a cross-channel ferry as he goes through 20 and 21. What's his strategy for going to be now? Is he going to box for the intermediates, or is he going to risk it, hope this weather doesn't get any worse, and go for another dry compound? We're seeing Danza go into the pits now. Danza on the intermediates. Jos Heinze also coming in for the intermediates. It's a no-brainer. Surely Adam's got to go for the inters as well, but he's going to have a wing change as well. Is that going to drop him any further down when he's coming into the box? And I would be surprised if it wasn't. Let's just hope he doesn't get another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He looks fairly safe there, but wow, Cameron, that's thrown things up in the air a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, commentator's curse on that one completely there. Pit stop ahead and now a pit stop behind, really. But yeah, the wet weather is certainly here to stay. We've had DRS disabled by race control, so they've deemed it too wet to risk having the rear wing open. And it's a wing change. It's painfully slow for the AlphaTauri driver, but he goes out on inters. Peter Parker up to third, but he's also getting a wing change, so he's back down to fourth again. There's a yellow flag set to 1, so McLaren around again. That's Sly Tycoon off, and we have a safety car, everybody! A safety car! This new neutralises everything we've just said. It'll bunch the cars up together. We've got Danza, Jos Heinze, Dazen Lezic, Adam, and they'll all be bunched together. All the championship contention drivers will be within cars' widths and lengths of each other, and this makes everything ever so interesting. We've had trials and tribulations for Adam. Will he be able to regain now? The safety car's kind of lucky for him, if anything. It means he doesn't have to worry about being 32 seconds behind the leader, and instead a mere few car lengths once you're behind Bert Maylander, trialling his Mercedes AMG around there as Danza just hits Bob. I don't know why, but there we go. A bit of contact. I think that might be the game having a few issues, Fozzy.
Yeah, and we are only halfway into this race, and what a first half it has been so far. Second half, well, I don't think it could get any more exciting. The battles have gone on, and they've made it halfway through the race, and they're about to get a little bit more fruity as we get into the second half of the race. Everybody knowing that this championship, well, they're running out of laps if they're going to make it work for them. Adam, well, he's going to be the one who's in the most danger at the moment. I don't know, has he felt under pressure, do you think, Cameron? We've seen a few mistakes from him, and we haven't seen that from Adam over the past few races. Do you think that he is starting to feel a little bit more under pressure, or do you think it is just down to tyre wear as he very nearly loses it, coming out of turn 13 there as well, manages to keep it out of the barrier. But yeah, you can see him wiggling that wheel, trying to get tyre temperatures in. We'll be seeing a safety car at least for another lap, I would imagine. But yeah, Cameron, what do you think? Do you think Adam has been falling to a bit of pressure this race?
Oh, I mean, you've got to just say that's surely what it's got to be down to. I mean, there's a championship on the line here. The pressure is the max it could ever be within the season. It's a title decider on the final round. It's everything you ever could dream of from a spectator's point of view, especially throwing in the mix, wet weather, dry weather, all of it. Spins, crashes, safety cars. We've got, like, bingo. If you've got your bingo sheets at home, I should think you're already at a full house already, and we're only halfway through, as Fozzy said earlier. But now, yeah, Adam's got to regain here. He seemed to be a little bit under pressure, as you said. He seems to be cracking, so he needs to really regain some composure, get sat in, get ready for the second half, for what's going to be a thrilling second half, and just get the job done in his point of view. But Danza and Jos Heinze, they won't be too mad that Adam's having a little bit of a trying day, to say the least, around the streets of Singapore, and they in themselves could be running out for the championship win here. So yeah, it's very difficult indeed, Fozzy, but I'm sure these drivers, they'll work out what they're going to do, and now strategy kind of is out the window a little bit more. It just brings everything more in line to raw pace.
And it'd be interesting to see, Cameron, if this weather gets any worse. Does it look to you that this rain's getting any heavier? Obviously it is heavier than what we saw about 5 minutes ago, but do you think that maybe we might see the wet weather tyres come out as well, or do you think this is going to be a full-on intermediate battle to the end as we see Dino come into the pits to get a fresh set of boots as well? What do you think? Do you think we're going to be staying on intermediates to the end, or might we see a return of the wet weather tyres?
Oh, we haven't seen full wets in real life for... actually, it wasn't that long ago. Never mind. But I don't know. I think inters will be quite nice to the end. I think full wets you get... I mean, it looks very nice with the full spray, but I think it'll be a little bit too difficult. I think we go inters, see how the drivers react. As you see all the cars only now starting to bunch up. This is a long safety car period. If you look on the map there, all the cars are spread out. The grid's not in any singular postcode, really. It's across the marina, really. But yeah, I don't know. I'd quite like to see inters, or maybe even a switch back to dries eventually. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Have everything and get the weatherman really running around in circles. But there is your race leader, Danza, ahead of Jos Heinze. Heading into this round, a mere singular point separated them. But what will it be when the checkered flag falls? Wow, it's going to be fun to find out, isn't it, Fozzy?
It is, and halfway through the race, it's only going to get more exciting as we go further forward. They say a very long safety car period of track, 3.1 miles long, so all the cars are a little bit spread out. We're starting to maybe get the possibility of safety car coming in this lap, at the end of this lap, but we are only at turn 3, so let's not get our hopes up too much. Now, doesn't that Mercedes AMG safety car look great in this rain, especially if you ride on board with Danza and you get up close? You can see the bloom and the flare from them lights on the light bar, from the brake lights and the light box, the number plate as well. It looks great, especially under the lighting of Singapore. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Jos Heinze weaving and weaving. He's getting ready to go at the end of this lap, getting the tyre temperatures up, keeping them up. Oh, he's getting a little bit twitchy. You don't want to be losing it in the barrier. That's going to be an embarrassing way to end your championship fight. As we see Adam also in P4, keeping his tyres in the most optimal range he can do. Oh, as he gets a little bit heavy on the gas pedal there.
Yeah, so I believe, according to my very dodgy mathematical skills, about 7 points separates the Danza and Adam at the moment. The winner gets 15 points, and then P4, I believe, gets 8 points. So, in order to win, Danza needs to outscore Adam by around 5 points. So at the moment, that's looking pretty good. But you also got the ever so nearing threat of Jos Heinze there, who's a point ahead of Danza. So he also needs to outscore him. Permutations gets very difficult, especially with a race like this, where everything seems to happen at once. So we will try and guide you through it, and we'll work out who the championship winner will be. But it makes it easier. If Adam wins, he's definitely, most definitely the championship winner because of his 3-point lead on the other person behind him. But yeah, Bert Maylander drifting the Mercedes through. It does look nice, doesn't it? As you said earlier, I do quite like the Aston Martin as well. But cars... Oh, the Haas! What's happened there? Jos Heinze's in the wall behind the safety car. You mentioned it earlier. That's another Haas in a wall. Oh, behind a safety car. That's Jos Heinze down to 9th. And all the cars are regrouping now. So that's going to be ever so difficult. And has he got winged out? Yes, he has. The racing gods have not played to his favour this evening. All the top 3 are having issues. And that's surely now that's going to put his championship run to an end here. Or championship fight down at P9. Got a pit stop to make. Where you end up around P12, I would say, roughly, because Bob is quite far behind the rest.
We got another lap of safety car.
We have another lap, so Jos might just be okay, but he's going to have to fight from the back here. We see that that car is actually more like a bus rather than a Formula 1 car, Fozzy.
Do you think Adam, Jos might go for the full wets? Look at this, it's getting, like, there's quite a lot of spray here. Will he take this opportunity to maybe go in, take the gamble, and go for the full wet compounds if this rain gets any worse? It does seem to be getting a little bit worse, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, Cameron. I'm going to ride on board with Jos and see what he goes for. It does look like another set of intermediates. Yeah, so not taking that gamble, but if this rain gets any worse, he might regret that choice as he gets a new front wing as well due to that collision with the wall. It's going to be an interesting one, a very, very interesting one, because it does look like it's getting a lot wetter. If you go on the onboard cameras, you can see the spray now from the cars. So even when they're going at about half racing speed, it's becoming quite difficult to see where you're going. So full wet might be making an appearance. Will we see the safety car in this lap? But it looks like everybody is slowly getting their way back up to speed now and behind each other. So we're seeing that train form as we see Slide Tycoon getting quite heavy on the accelerator there. Adam constantly keeping his tyres weaved. We got a Renault in the mix up next to the safety car. I think that's Bob, yeah, who's just sort of in there with everybody at the moment. Maybe he might be able to unlap himself at some point, but safety car's going to be coming in soon. I don't think that will be happening, Cameron.
Yeah, the lap traffic's going to cause issues here. Not particularly for Danza, but the likes of Adam, who's P3 on the timing tower, but is stuck behind a Ferrari there. Obviously, Dayton Lesage, and then the lapped car of Bob. Which is going to cause a bit of difficulty, especially if they don't get out of the way straight away. You know, is the Ferrari going to hold up the AlphaTauri? But you hope not. They're both Italian teams, so they should work together in spirit. But safety car is in this lap. Yes, indeed. So we're about to go green, and unfortunately, Jos Heinze still isn't with the pack. Danza might just be able to back them up. In fact, Jos might have an advantage maybe of the warmer tyres, who's running at almost full racing speed here when he joins back of the pack. Here he goes then.
Oh,
let's get ready to go as we enter turn 15, 16, 17 now around this slow section. Danza, those tyres are going to be ice by the time he gets going, but Jos Heinze is with the pack and he will have quite warm tyres, I'd imagine now. So when's he going to go? When's the Mercedes driver? The Czech driver, Danza 4, 39 on the car. Number 1 in the championship at the moment. Where's he going to go? It looks like he might just be winding up back the pack. Be careful not to lose it. Careful not to lose it around turn 23. The tension rises. Here we are then. And I believe we are off indeed. The green flags will be out and we are underway once again. Green flag racing, Singapore. We're on lap 18 and it's going to be a fight for the championship between Danza and Adam here. Adam, P2, the AlphaTauri driver, already around Dazen Lazic and is already up there fighting for the lead almost. 1 second though is between the two, but Danza got a pretty good getaway there. He had a good getaway at the start and he's repeated it once again. Dazen Lazic locked into kind of at P3 through mistakes of others in his own consistent driving. Would he be able to hold on to it? It'll be very good points for the Ferrari driver. 8/10 though separate the top two cars, Danza and Adam. And for Adam to win here, he needs to, I believe he needs to win this race now. So yes, this will be quite tough indeed. But Dazen Lazic 1.7 behind, and behind those you've got the two Williams, now split by the Alfa Romeo, who then splits the other Williams, and the Ferrari. Gaudio and Jay almost make contact around the tight left-hander there. Not much room really between those cars, but they managed to get it done. Gaudio up to fourth. We've seen his skill in the wet, and it seems to be ever so prevalent here in Singapore, Fozzy.
It is, yeah. I'm just watching Adam and Danza as Adam hunts down the Mercedes in front of him. Look at the spray road as we go down this Spalandi drive here towards turn 14. Look at this, it's very hard on the onboard cameras to see in front of you. Got to be careful deploying your energy and going into rich mix as well, as we have a racing point around on the Anderson Bridge. Adam, well, he's managed to stay 5/10 behind Danza. We won't be seeing any DRS though over the next few laps, not unless the weather improves significantly, but by the looks of it, I think it might even get worse. Look at this weather now. It's incredibly hard to see where you're going. Will we be seeing any of the back markers trying to box for that full wet? Will they be trying to maybe over the next few laps? Remember, we've still got over 10 laps to go yet, about 13 laps. Will they be boxing for the full wet to try and make up positions towards the final few bits of the race and to help with their championship battles? It might not be for the championship, but it's definitely for points. Let's have a look at how Jos Heinze's doing. Well, he's already down there in 9th and just keeping it going in the same direction as everybody else, just about. But yeah, that was really unlucky of him. Under safety car, in the wall, lap 16. I don't think he's going to be hearing the end of that from his mates for quite a while. But it looks like Danza's pulling ahead just a little bit now. He's about 7/10. Farnham gets a 3-second penalty, Cameron.
Yeah, you're on about points earlier. I believe with just Adam and Danza fighting it out, where Danza needs 4 points to draw, 5 points to take the championship win. Well, at the moment, Danza will get 3 points difference in P1, getting 15 points. So he needs the fastest lap just to draw on points. So this will be difficult between Danza and Adam. Danza not looking like he's going to win this tonight, but Adam, who's had ups and downs throughout the championship, is looking in key form and looks like the favourite. But we've seen him make a mistake earlier. Will he make another mistake? His championship to lose, Danza's to win tonight, Fozzy. And it's 5/10, 6/10 separating the two cars on track. And further back, Dazen Lazic and Gaudio batting out. There's yellow flag sector 3. I believe that might be Farnham. Is that Farnham? Yeah, in the wall, managed to get it going again. Turn 7, Memorial Corner into turn 8. Oh, he goes straight on, and that's going to be him out of this race. The wing change not going to suffice that one. There's Farnham out of this one. I believe he might just had a stuck throttle, I guess you could say there. Looks a bit interesting, but Adam now 7-6. 5/10 behind Danza, dithering around. Wet weather makes a move difficult on an already tricky track. And now Adam really just has to sit here for the nice ride. Lap 19 of 31. We haven't got that many laps really left. Obviously, we're past the halfway marker a while back now. Around about 11 laps to go. But 11 laps to fight it out between the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri. 80-01 versus the W11 in real life. Very different in performance. But on this game, on tonight, they are equally matched. Does Adam go for a move? No, he does not. Looks to peek on the inside. Did not go for it indeed. Around turn 3. This is difficult to get the exit right as we see Adam getting a bit twitchy there. Danza still leading the way as a yellow flag. I think that might be a McLaren or MJQ or someone. It looks like a Haas possibly. Fozzy, got information.
He span around just after the pit exit. Front wing looks okay though.
Yeah, okay, so 2 attempts now between these two. He's gaining. No DRS assistance, but the raw Honda power powering him along the straight, but it isn't enough to rival the Mercedes high power performance that they have in the back of that car, Fozzy.
Slider Tycoon's the first to go onto the full wet tyres. He's down in 15th from plumb last at the moment, but it'll be interesting to see how he does, what his lap times are. If he starts pumping in fastest laps, will we see other people in the field going for the full wets as well as Adam Very nearly went into the back of Danza as I jumped on board. It's tight. It is very, very scary for these drivers. You're encased with concrete, like I said during the opening part of the broadcast. So you don't really want to be making too many mistakes. Contact's going to leave you in the wall, and as we've seen from a few drivers already, it'll probably mean a visit to the pit lane as well. No DRS, but you still got ERS to help make your moves. Adam's going to be looking for a move down in towards sort of 14. Is this going to be it for the race win? Oh, he tags Danza. Adam gets a 3-second time penalty. Could that be the deciding one for the championship? Could that be what decides this race, this outcome on the podium? Luckily, it looks like Danza is okay. Has he got a right rear puncher? No, it doesn't look it. All drivers seem to be okay, but you can see what this means for Adam, who's making the moves you might not normally see in a standard race, but when he knows that the podium and the championship is on the line, you're going to be going for these moves. Of course you are. You are a racing driver. Yellow flag, sector 3, not going to be impacting what's going on in front. Looks like it's the Mercedes of O'Dave to have a little bit of a moment there, but this is where it all heats up now. We've got just over 10 laps to go as Adam gets a little bit twitchy coming out of 23 there. He's going to be eyeing up a move, probably thinking ahead to the exit of turn 5 down towards 6 and 7 on Raffles Boulevard. Will he be able to make a cleaner move on Danza? Well, let's follow him as we go through turn 3. There's a slight kink of 4 here, not really a corner to the drivers. Adam deploying all the energy he can. He's got about 80% at the moment. Danza in front has got about, well, just a little bit more. Adam doesn't get the best exit, but he deploys what he can. Now this, if it had DRS, would be an easy move. It's not DRS, but it is ERS. Like I say, he cancels the ERS, thinks better of it. Not going to be making a move just here, but he's piling the pressure on Danza. If we see one mistake from Danza, that will open it up to Adam to make the win and make the move. But will he be able to make it happen when it comes around to that point? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Don't go anywhere in these next 10 laps. This is what the whole season has led up to. It's led up to Danza in the Mercedes versus Adam in the AT01 AlphaTauri. Who's it going to be? We see O'Dave going on to the wets as well, so a few more people going on for that. There's going to be another straight coming up here as we get on the exit of 13 up to 14. We saw a move here and it didn't go too well just one lap ago. Let's see if Adam can get a great drive. He's got a phenomenal drive. He's gone down the inside. He's going to be side by side with Danza by the time we get towards turn 14. By the time we do get there, is he any further ahead? Well, he's about a front wing ahead. By the time we get round the corner, Danza maintains that lead, squeezes Adam into the wall. It's a street circuit. Adam tries to keep it going in the right direction. He manages to keep it going. Danza manages to keep it in P1. This is getting feisty. You know what it means for these drivers, Cameron. This is where we're going to see the risky moves coming out, and this is where we could see the championship decided in just one corner.
Yeah, you know the phrase around the heart of the seas, they're rowing it on their rubber tyres tonight. Why, oh my, they're really battling for it. You'd think this is a battle for the championship or something, wouldn't you here? This is great. Danza here, 3 tenths ahead of Adam. At the moment, we do believe, or at least I believe, that Adam is in the prime seat for winning the championship just on points alone. But it's even better to win the final race of the season, is it not, Fozzy? But here we're seeing, though, 2 tenths between the two, and this has been a constant story, hasn't it? They really do enjoy battling out with each other. We are seeing slightly less respect this evening between the two. We're often seeing them give each other a little bit of room. Not much room on a street track, and they are definitely emphasising that by making those cars as wide as possible. 2 metres wide in real life, but you can make that about 6 metres, it turns out, as long as you enter a corner correctly. But here we go, gaining on the brakes. Bit of a lock-up to help you there, really, and trying to just edge forward to Danza. Catch up. You want to win on track. It's always what racers want to do. Is virtual real life, it doesn't make any difference. That racing mentality still exists, is ever so strong, as exemplified by what's on your screens this evening. 4 tenths now between the two cars. There they are, all in one shot. But rear wing to front ring. It looked like Adam had a slight knock there on the left-hand side. Looked a bit dodgy. There's a yellow flag sector 2. I believe that might be O'Dave. It isn't the other Mercedes. He's currently leading the race. But 3 tenths now. Switchback. Is it on? I believe it is on. Here comes Adam. Both struggling for grip. They're like rowing boats here in Singapore. But it's Adam ahead. But will he keep it through corner entry? They make contact. They're still making contact. Adam's in the wall. They're both in the wall. Danza's in the wall. But they keep it going. My, oh my. This is unfathomable. The action that's going on. 6 tenths between them, Fozzy.
Adam has lost a front left end plate. Is this going to be, or as he nearly goes into the wall there on the exit of 17, is this going to be what decides the race? Is he going to have to box and get a new wing? Well, he isn't going to want to do that. He's going to lose not only a podium position, he'll probably lose a championship as well, so he's going to have to stick with the damage that he's got. But look how much further Danza's already been able to pull away in just a few corners. He's going for the boxes, Adam. He's going to get that new wing. He knows that he can't live with the damage he's got. We've got about 8 laps to go. This could be it. Dejan Lajic moves up to P2. Gaudio takes a third position on the podium in P3, Cameron. Well, let's see what tyres to go for. Is it going to be another set of inters? It is.
Yeah, inters it is. That was a battle, wasn't it? I wonder if there'll be a little bit of litigation going on in the steward's room after that one. Looked a bit feisty. Commentators, we can't really weigh too much of an opinion. I say racing incident, personally, but we'll let the stewards decide should it go any further. But Gaudio's chasing here to the senior Italian team, the Ferrari, both powered by the prancing horses, which is something that you didn't really want to say in 2020 in real life, but there we go. But it's P3 for Gaudio. He's managed to possibly lock onto a podium here, but look at that though. Adam is down in P8. He'll here, I believe, only scored 3 points, and he had a 4-point deficit, or 4-point gap to Danza. That's blown right out the window now. Danza, it's gone from driver to driver in the top 3, but now Danza is looking like your championship favourite with, as we're on lap 23, 8 laps-ish to go. But will it end up being him on the throne at the end? Well, we don't know, but O'Day spins again. Same corner as last time, causes the yellow flag on the other side of the wall. There we go, he's popped back into existence, finding some issues. The track is a bit wet. Danza there lapping O'Day, I believe. The leader of the race lapping P14. Gaudio, though, and Dejan Lazic still battling it out between the two. Haven't resolved this dispute just yet. The matte scarlet red Ferrari leading the slightly glossier Alfa Romeo. Ever so pretty liveries on the Alfa Romeo in real life. Can't be said about the Ferrari, but there we go. But he's now 7 tenths behind Dejan Lazic. The driver ahead of him in his crosshairs, in his sights, ready to take action and fire his shot into P2. But he's 6 tenths now, going around 23rd corner on this track. It's a multiple corner track, many indeed, hard to count. Can't be as bad as the upcoming tracks such as Jeddah, but here we are then. Gaudio is now starting to lose a little bit of time to Dejan Lazic. Meanwhile, Danza out ahead, 3-second penalty, 6.2 seconds ahead of Dejan, so he's looking pretty comfortable at the moment. But we've seen, do not get complacent. As soon as you get complacent, you lose everything. You lose wings, track position, lap time, and at worst, your entirety of your position in this race and the championship. Adam, he charged to the grid last time. He's got it all to do again. But a deja vu, I believe, for the AlphaTauri driver, the Hungarian. Getting used to charging through the field tonight. Will he be able to pull it off? He's got many seconds to make up, indeed. But he could do it. He's got, what's that, 31 seconds. So, I mean, that's a hard job to do, isn't it, Fozzy?
It is. All Danza needs to do now is bring it home. We see TS Bunty going into the pits. So, what position, Cameron, does Adam, if I'll let you work out, what position does Adam need to get up to in order to keep that championship position? Danza, like we say, if he brings it home where he is now, leading the race, he will be a champion, depending on what position Adam comes in at the moment. But it's looking comfortable for Danza at the moment. We haven't seen much of Jos Heinze lately after he had his incident behind the safety car on lap 16. But he's coming along slow. He's in P10 at the moment. He's in the points on the inters. He's in a bit of a zone where he's got a car a couple of seconds ahead of him and a car a couple of seconds behind him, so there's no direct fight going on for the Haas driver at the moment, but perhaps not his day to shout home about at the moment down there in P10. He might be a little bit embarrassed by that incident under the safety car, but I'm sure that next season he'll come around to make it work a lot better and learn from those mistakes. But yeah, looking comfortable for Danza. I can see, because as commentators here, we have cameras on each other so we can see what each other are doing. I can see Keiran keeps looking behind him, he's looking down, he's got calculators going, working what he can do to try and get you some live timing on these championship standings. But at the moment, well, Keiran, have you got an update on Adam?
Wow, I believe he's got 4 points to Danza. So Adam, theoretically, can only be in, I think, P2. Behind, because that's 3 points there, or potentially P3 with the fastest lap. It's going to be difficult though, difficult challenge for him. So yeah, it looks like momentum and favour swung in Danza's way as Adam goes a bit wide. Turn 1, finding the level of grip not to be as expected, I think there is the right terminology. But now 7.3 second gap between the leader and his nearest car on the timing tower. This is looking pretty nice for Danza, isn't it, Fozzy?
It's looking really good as well. Really good for him. He's going to be happy with that P1, because like you say, he will be taking the championship unless Adam can make some significant improvements on his position. But that's the top position of the podium sorted. How's it looking for P2 and P3? Well, Gaudio's dropped back a little bit from the senior Ferrari-powered team of, well, Ferrari in front. Gaudio trails Dejan Lazic by nearly 3 seconds at the moment. It was a little bit closer a few laps ago, but it looks like Dejan Lazic has had some really good drives out of some of these corners. He's been able to work the intermediate tyres just that little bit better and gain that advantage. Nicolates and Dino, though, are looking quite close as well, with Sly Tycoon unfortunately gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So he's obviously been exploring the track limits just a little bit too much for what the stewards would have been happy with. MJ Cooper is currently in P6 and Adam down there in P7, so quite a distance off where he needs to be in order to take the championship. And like you say, we are running out of laps slowly. Lap 25 at the moment of 31. It's just over 5 laps to go. I don't think we're going to be getting any more DRS. I don't think we're going to be seeing any changes to the weather as well. So it is now going to be a straight dash on these intermediate tyres, or wets if your name is Sly Tycoon or Bob, to the end of the race. Danza will just want to bring this home now. He's in a comfortable position. We see a few yellow flags around the place. Looks like one of them might have been Sly Tycoon. Yeah. Was it Bunty having a bit of a moment back there? But that's been cleared now. Where was I saying? Yeah, Danza. Oh, we see MJ Coupe and Gaudio going for side by side. No, we don't. We see Gaudio diving into the pits, getting rid of his intermediates for another set of intermediates, and he's got a damaged front wing. So it looks like he's getting that changed. Didn't quite catch where he managed to lose a bit of his front wing, but he comes out now with a fresh one. What are you owing and owing at, Cameron? Have you got your eyes on another funky battle going on somewhere in the field?
Yeah, MJQ trying to steer his ship, the 93 Haas there. Turn 3 actually, find himself a little bit sideways, managed to regain it. I didn't know which direction he's going to end up in, didn't know whether doing the reverse layout of Singapore, but manages to keep going in the normal direction that we expect the cars to be in, which is all good and well. P5, decent race for MJQ. Obviously, qualifying was a bit wet, and now the race is a bit wet. And we are now just seeing how these drivers do, really, trying to cope with these conditions. We've got the likes of Danzu, seems to be coping really well. Had a bit of an incident earlier, but nothing too bad. And now we're just, yeah, it's all sort of playing out, really, in the Mercedes drivers' hands. We've got Adam off the podium, Jos Heinze off the podium, and Dejan Lazic, Nico, who are on the podium, which aren't necessarily in tight battle for this championship. Danza entered this final race here in IRL at third, 4 points behind the leader, but now it's certainly gone the other way for him. So yeah, got to bring it home and hope for the best.
Yeah, we're seeing those on the wet tyres understand that they're not really performing as well as they would have wanted to be. We see Bob and Sly Tycoon coming out on the intermediates now, so fresh set of intermediates, mind. Everybody now on the green walled inters. Danza still, though, 8 and a bit seconds ahead of that in P2. Dejan Lazic in a fairly comfortable position back there. Adam, well, he's made up one position. He's currently 6th now, but it isn't what he needs in order to take this championship. So it is still looking in a very good position for Danza. Everyone seems to be quite spread out. We see Dino trying to get past his teammate. Well, quite easy, actually, through the use of ghosting. Everybody's spread out, like I say, quite nicely in this. We see Adam not too far behind MJ Coupe. He's got a bit of energy. Will he be able to make a move down Raffles Boulevard into turn 7? Well, stay on board. So we will follow Adam down to see if he can get around MJ Coupe. He's going to be going for a move down the inside. Oh, is he going to pay off well? MJ Coupe manages to go a little bit wider. Just knows what he's there. He's trying to take the inside. Here is Adam. He knows it's tight. That's a tight corner. We saw George Russell and Romain Grosjean in 2019 coming together at that corner. Not going too well for the Williams in that race. How's it looking over for Adam here? Well, he's going to try and get a bit of slipstream, deploy the energy that he has got. But MJ Coupe's going to try and defend that as much as he can. Adam, knowing that the laps are ticking down, knowing that he needs to be making these moves as quickly as he can. Time is running out for Adam. It's looking better and better for Danza, who now goes over 10 seconds ahead of P2 of Dejan Lazic. Will Adam then be able to make a move on MJ Coupe up to 5th position here? Well, he's got a little bit of energy, and he's going around the outside. He's going to cut back to what's going to become the inside of turn 14. He's going to go side by side with MJ Coop. They make contact. MJ Coop in the wall, bounces back into Adam. Both keep going in the same direction though, so it doesn't look like any of them had too much damage. Has MJ Coop got any damage? I'm going to try and have a look at his front wing, but I don't believe he's got any damage and seems to be going along quite nicely. Yep, both still got the same amount of end plates, which is 2, so looking good for them. Slight lock-up for MJ Coop. Good for Random though, he makes it up into P5. Ahead of him is Dino by about 3.5 seconds, so let's see if they're able to catch up and have a bit of a fight in the closing few stages. But we're on lap 28 now. I think, Cameron, that it is running out for Adam. I don't think he's going to be able to get this. It's looking more and more like the championship is swinging in the direction of the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, indeed. And he also needs to... Obviously, the fastest lap could mean something here. Should, I believe, Adam get up farther higher up. So, it's all to try and gain. And it just seems to have, he started after qualifying first, the pole sitter on the soft tyres, had a good getaway, built up that massive gap, remember, that 8-second gap. That diminished quickly, and so has his championship hopes. Now, that's MJ Coop
in the wall.
MJ Coop in the wall, yeah, talking about hopes being dashed, that's MJ's gone as well for this race, I believe. Now, I mean, still P7, 47-second gap, sorry, 10-second gap behind, so it's not too bad for him, but it's still points. But, yeah, still being his teammate, who, would you believe, started this race up there with Danza, but unfortunately, after a couple of instants, found himself down, claiming a singular point. But that's racing for you. It's a roller coaster of undulating emotions here, and that's just how...
Contact between Dino and Nicolates as they go over the Anderson Bridge. Dino just misjudges his braking zone. I think he's lost a bit of front wing by going into the back of Nicolates there, and he finds himself in a bit of an AlphaTauri sandwich now. Adam has come along to join the party. If he can make up these positions into P3, will he be in contention, Cameron? Because he's looking like, with 3 laps to go, he might just be able to do just that. He's trying to get around Dino. Is he going to be able to make that work and stick through 16 and 17? He's going to try to cut back and deploy the energy he's got. No, he's not. Oh, this could be a dive. No, I think he's going to save that for the main straight. But if he can get past Dino and get up to Nicolates' teammate, will we see some team orders from AlphaTauri? Will Nicolates allow Adam to go by and chase after Dejan Lazic? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but it's going to be a big ass because Dejan Lazic comes down under the start lights now. Adam is only going around turn 22. Is he going to be able to make that move through 22, stick through 23, and get a bit of a slipstream off Dino down towards turn 1? Well, it looks like he's deploying energy, and it's going to be a move down towards turn 1. Adam takes 4th position. Dino tries to make it stick. Takes the outside, it stays as the outside as we go around 3. This is close. Is there going to be contact between the two? Looks like Adam just manages to make the inside line stick and runs away with P4 out of that as we head towards Raffles Boulevard. Teammate in front of him now. Is there going to be the team orders like I say? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Adam is a little bit further behind Nicolates from what he might want to be, but he's a lot further behind Dejan Lazic, Cameron.
Yeah, so going on about the points. Points mean prizes, and certainly tonight. So, if he's in P3, he'll get 10 points, and that will be a 5-point difference between him and Danza. Bear in mind, Danza only needed 4 points to make up to Adam, so that'll still be a point required. So that means fastest lap will come into play here, and we could end up with both drivers being equal on points at the end, and it being decided via other matters. But who has the fastest lap now, Fozzy? It's Dino.
Yeah, it's Dino. We're seeing O'Dave go onto the soft compounds. He might be taking away a fastest lap from all of them. Don't forget, if we stay on the intermediates, Danza's Inters, 14 laps old, Adam, 5 laps. So that puts Adam in a great position to take that fastest lap. Doesn't look like we're seeing any team orders down at the AlphaTauri outfit at the moment because Adam's struggling to get past his teammates of Nicolates. He's got 10 lap fresher tyres, has Adam, but he doesn't seem to be able to make him work just yet. The rain has stopped though. I don't think we'll be seeing any of the top teams, top drivers, go for a box. It might seem logical, but they're just going to lose many positions and lose the championship if they do so. The pit lane here, well, you'll lose quite a bit of time, around 25 seconds. This looks like a move that Adam's going to be making on Nicolates. I think he doesn't fight that too much, does Nicolates. Lets his teammate through. Adam onto the podium now, and he goes up to 2nd position as Dejan Lazic goes into the pit. Does that throw Adam back into contention? Are they both going to stay out on those intermediate tyres? Is Danza going to stay out? Is Adam going to stay out? If it stays in this position, does that mean Adam's going to be the championship? Win the championship,
I think it
Keiran?
does. I believe it does, yes. It's 3 points between P1 and P2. That means that Adam will be ahead by a singular point if I remember rightly, if I can do functional maths, which this evening, this exhilarating race has just taken it out of me completely. But yeah, Adam entered on 99 points, Danza on 95. And yeah, that will be 3 points that Adam will have over Danza, which will make that gap bigger and bigger and bigger. But it comes down to pit stops. We got a yellow flag, sector 2. It's a McLaren. Is that Sly Tycoon again? Possibly. I think it might be. But now Danza and Adam are separated by 21 seconds. Although that is dithering quite lower now. We will see if one of the drivers pulls the trigger and enters the pits. The track is starting to look a lot drier now, Fozzy, wouldn't you say? It's starting maybe that we are transitioning onto the fully slick tyres.
Yeah, but it's lap 30 or 31. You know what I want to box on the last lap. You're going to want to try and stick with what you've got on this final lap. It has been a fantastic season, and it all comes down to this lap. Can Danza keep it going in a straight line? Can Adam stay where he is in P2 and take the championship? Find out in just under 120 seconds time as Danza goes around to start the final lap of the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Adam goes through turns 20 and 21 to chase him. He's 20 seconds behind, but he's still ahead in the championship as things currently stand. It's Nicolates who makes up the podium to have a AlphaTauri 2-3, so to say, a double AlphaTauri podium. It's been a great season for them, taking the Constructors' Championship. Danza makes it down onto Raffles Boulevard now, as we have a, looks like, Dino round at turn, where are we? Turn 21. Dino in the McLaren spins around and has a bit of damage on the front wing, loses both of his end plates. Is he going to box? Is he going to see it useful as it is for last lap? DRS enabled. Could that come into play for any of the people further down in the field? Well, Danza now, he's on those intermediate tyres, as is Adam, but Danza looks in the comfortable position to win the race. Adam looks even more comfortable if he can just keep it going in one direction. Dino retires from the session on the final lap of the race. It's looking like it's going to be all in Adam's favour here. Is Adam going to be your IRL PCF2 champion for Season 12? As he goes across, comes up to, well, not too far away from the Anderson Bridge. Danza makes his way down Esplanade Drive towards turn 14. He's got one more sector to go to keep it going and help win this race in Singapore. Adam makes his way now, like I say, up to the Anderson Bridge. He's keeping it going. It's Nicolates' teammate not too far behind him. Dino, like we say, is retired from the session. Drivers further down the field coming out onto the soft compound to try and make a final bid where they can. But it's Danza who looks like he's in a comfortable position to win here in Singapore. He's had a phenomenal race so far. It's been great for Danza from what he's seen. He's had 4 podiums in a row, and it's going to be a 5th podium in a row by the looks of it as well. It's going to be a win for him as well. He's never failed to score in any race he's started this season. And it's going to be another win for Danza today in the Marina Bay Circuit as he goes around turn 22. Through 23 and makes it a win here in Singapore to finish off the championship. But it looks like Adam is going to secure the full championship in the drivers. Adam comes around now to take P2. It's going to be Adam, your champion driver for Season 12 of PCF2 League.
Yes, exactly. He entered this round having 6 podiums. He finished having 7 podiums. And he is your IRL Season 12 PCF2 champion. Congratulations, Adam. You are the champion. Well done. What a phenomenal season from all the drivers. And what a way to conclude in such a race. It wasn't the win, but that doesn't matter when you are champion. Brilliant job. It's a double podium for AlphaTauri. Again, Adam has never really failed to score points in any single round he has started. He's had multiple race wins, multiple P2s, and now he has a championship to his name. Adam, the Hungarian driver, driving the AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri now take both championships, and what a place to take them. Brilliant job.
Brilliant job indeed, and what a race that was as well to finish off the season. Singapore, we knew it was going to show us quite a few, give us quite a few events, and boy, did we have a bit of everything. We had rain, we had dry, we had safety car, we had virtual safety car, we had crashes, we had a fight for the championship, and hopefully we'll be able to talk with some of our championship winners, well, championship winner, Constructors champions. We'll be able to talk with everybody on the podium in just a few moments' time, as we'll speak to them in some driver interviews. But yeah, that, Cameron, was a fantastic race.
cannot believe how good that race was. The emotions involved. Adam starting on pole, finding himself down the ladder due to an incident, climbing back up, finding himself down again. If there was ever a championship drive, that is it there. Brilliant job by all drivers, but a phenomenal job by the AlphaTauri of Adam. Wow, wow, wow. That has been Season 12 then, and we will now head to the interviews very shortly as to investigate as to how our drivers feel after a phenomenal race this evening. And this will be good. But there are your podium finishes then. It's Mercedes on pole, Dancer. At one point it looked like he was losing the championship, at another he looked like he was in control of it. But unfortunately, he is not the championship winner this evening, but he is the Singapore race winner, adding another win. That'll be 3 wins for him and 8 podiums. My, and that'll be 5 podiums in a row. But let's head down to the interviews with Fozzy.
Firstly, probably Keiran, hello.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello,
that was
Keiran.
A race.
I was just talking to our second place in the championship, Danza. Wow, that was definitely quite a tight one. We are joined though by Adam, the championship winner. Adam, how does it feel to be champion of Season 12?
Well, I can't even believe it. This race was incredible.
It was, it really was. You had a spin on lap 11. How did you feel after that little bit of a spin?
I had so many errors. That one wasn't even that big compared to the others. But of course I was angry with myself. It was a pretty beginning mistake which usually beginners make, and I wasn't happy with myself, but I recovered well, and then I made another mistake, and then I recovered back again, then another mistake, and it went on like that.
And did you think that you would be able to take the championship and be able to make the comeback after those errors?
Well, yeah, I always thought that I can go back to the front, at least to the podiums, even when I made contact with Danster and I had wing damage. Of course I was a bit scared when I pitted, and I was 8th position, I think, or around that, but yeah, fortunately I was still able to climb back to P2, and others had to make pit stops as well, so yeah, fortunately I was able to finish P2 and take the championship. So
yeah, really good championship drive from yourself there. Proper comeback story, a roller coaster of who was going to win it. We were frantically trying to work it out in the commentary box, but Adam, you are champion. Enjoy it. Very well deserved. And also brilliant job to both AlphaTauri drivers, Nico as well, getting a podium there in what's been a quite a tricky race. And that means that you also secured both championships as well. And obviously we knew that going into this round, so brilliant job on wrapping up both titles. Great work there. Now, Jos, how does it feel? You had a few incidents going on throughout the race. You and Danzo were battling it very furiously at the start. Do you think that actually cost you potentially quite a lot of time there? And was that potentially your championship hopes already dashed? Or do you think you had a hope during the latter stages of the race?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Adam on winning championship, of course.
thank you.
And yeah, I the top 3 was on different strategies. I was on mediums, and I think that was the better strategy, because I didn't have to pit and was on the faster tire than Danza. And well, till the safety car, everything was looking good for me. I was in front of Danza, and Adam was 30 seconds behind. And when the safety car came out, everything just went downwards. I spun, and that was just shit. And when the safety car ended, I couldn't see anything because of lapped cars. So everyone was ghosting, and everyone was driving through each other. So I got damaged again. So I had to pit again. And yeah, it wasn't my race.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. That's right, you go, Fozzy. That's right, we're pointing at each other in the commentary box. There you go, Fozzy.
I was going to say, Yossa, what were your thoughts? Obviously, lap 16, you ended up in the wall under safety car. Did you think it was just all gone then? Did you feel like retiring, or did you feel you'd be able to make a pretty good comeback?
Nah, well, I spun and my hopes went just they just were just gone.
Fully gone.
Yeah, I mean, if something happens like that, I always want to retire. But luckily, I got someone named MJ Coop who's always saying to me, "No, you have to race. You have to race the race and see what happens. Maybe something happens and you get some decent points." And yeah, sometimes it's like that, but a lot of times it isn't, like today.
Yeah, well, you still drove a pretty good race. Danza, I want to ask you, what were your thoughts after the safety car? Obviously, you were in a pretty good position up there at the front of the field. How were you feeling after the safety car?
Oh, bad. You see, Adam was 20 seconds behind me with his spin and stuff like that. And if Josh was P2, that would have been 5 for my championship. So when the safety car came out, by the way, my teammate turned out the safety car. That basically I basically lost my championship hopes there. But then we had a bit of contact with Adam. Not sure if that was my fault, his fault. We both hit the wall. I miraculously had 0 damage. He destroyed his wing. So he had to pit, and I was like, okay, just take this home. I'm seriously. I know people were getting punctures. My tires were fine up to the end, like not even 60%. So kinda pissed off a bit. Dejan lost his spirit. Dino got a puncture. Adam pulled that 6-second gap to Nico. Everything went his way after that in that race. Like I did a might race, so fighting with Joss on the beginning. We are both a bit harsh. He pushed me off the track a few times. I pushed him a bit wide too. Also with Adam, I was trying to defend as aggressively as possible, but always trying to stay calm. But yeah, in the end.
Yeah, you were defending pretty well, actually. It was hard to make a move.
Make the cars as wide as possible, eh? When you need to. But yeah, brilliant job, really. Through all the drivers. I know a lot of you will be feeling quite, annoyed that the championship just slipped through your hands, especially when at certain circumstances the leader looked like he was having a terrible day all the way down the bottom. But unfortunately, that is the funs and not so funs of racing. But Nico, you were once in quite a nice spot for the championship fights, and many rounds ago when we first joined the commentary, you never get my words out. You scored another podium this evening. Are you happy for your teammate? Are you, you scored the constructors. How are you feeling after that race?
I'm speechless. I first of all, congrats to Adam. He really fight as hell.
Thank you very much.
At the end I was thinking about, should I pit or not, because I was like P4 P5 within the 10 last lap, and my tires were okay at this point, and so I decided to keep on the race, and 80% at the end, I think. So it was so hard to keep those tires working.
Yeah, it was quite a tricky race from our point of view, and congratulations just to getting to the end, because it was tough. The conditions were tough. But a big thank you to all of the drivers, especially yourselves, for making the season absolutely phenomenal, not to only commentate on, but to also just watch from a spectator's point of view. And thank you for providing such a good battle throughout this entire season. But that is season 12 over and done with, everybody. And I can't wait for the next one. It's going to be good. And if it's half as good as this was, then we're in for a treat. So thank you, drivers. And we will hopefully catch you very shortly.
Thanks, guys.
Good night,
Cheers,
everyone.
Good night.
Good work.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. Enjoy. So, we have got up the stairs back into the commentary box, and this is the end of season 12. It's been a brilliant journey for Fozzy and I. We started our commentary journey literally here around about 6 rounds ago, wasn't it? At the United States
It was.
of America. And not only have we grown in our commentary, but we've also grown to love this league and love the content that we're able to produce. So we want to thank you to all the people the officials who start the races, manage the races, the stewards, and all the other commentators and broadcasters. Without you, we wouldn't be able to bring you this kind of action. Season 13 looks to be on the horizon on the new game, and who knows what will come with it, who knows who will be on top. But for Season 12, Adam is your champion. Have a good night, everyone. From Fozzy and I, we wish you well. See you later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.